Hey, everybody, welcome to the Parlor. It's the place you come to learn things and to share and to meet people that you should know. Um, Today, you're meeting people who will tell us about the K-pop phenomena in a way that makes sense, who actually do it, understand the influence of it, as opposed to people who try to borrow the culture and don't really pay attention to it and don't respect it. David Yungin Kim is one of the baddest engineers in the game. And here he is, and he's with his boy BM, killer dude. And what's interesting about you guys is that you kind of went from America and then integrated into what's going on in Korea. Do both of those influences come through in what you do?
I would say definitely because we bring something that you can't get here. You know what I mean? It's homegrown. We have a knack for the sound. We have the swag and the sauce, right? And I'm not saying
Yeah.
no with no disrespect. Korea has its own swag and sauce, but Korea K-pop eventually makes its way to the American market and wants to be on the Billboard charts, and that's something I'm semi familiar with. So we're able to bring a fresh perspective, and my whole thing is bridging the gap, right? Respecting my culture, respecting this culture, and somehow merging these two in a peaceful way.
That's what shows in your music. Like music that's disrespectful shows. Music that's respectful shows as well too. And that's what's so interesting about having you guys because you both have your I mean, being from your perspective, because you've got both as well too as an artist, do you approach it in such a way that you respect the genre but don't let it limit you?
Absolutely. I think, growing up in LA, being in close proximity to the music and the culture, I mean, it was everywhere around me growing up. Um, and I think that has such a huge influence on the authenticity of how my music comes out. And it's such a crazy transition for me to go from living in America, not knowing my culture, not knowing even the language at one point, and then coming here and learning all of that, and then having it tied together at one point too is such a crazy mix. And but it's so beautiful too because I can be here and just like David, have a lot of people be so open to the perspective of what it's really like being in America and indulging in the culture there, and then bringing it here and explaining to him what really is viewed as authentic and cool, dope, not dope, all of that.
Yeah. No, I've often felt that for every musical movement, somebody gets designated as a concierge to take us through it and explain it and show it properly. And those are so important to pass on to generations of stuff because people will get it wrong if they don't get it right. You know what I mean? Um, where do you see it now? When I've done my research on K-pop, there's always some urban elements somewhere in there. Is that true? Where does it come from? Is it in the beats? Is it in the thought process? Where does urban stuff fit?
I think it's the K-pop is cool because it like blends genres, right? Like a lot of the really big K-pop songs have like EDM style hook or an EDM style pre-hook, with a hip hop verse or a hip hop hook. Like it's like a blend of all these worlds where it's like there's pop, there's hip hop, and then there's like electronic. And
Yep.
I think where the urban feel comes in is when they have a rap verse, or if they have like a big chanty hook with like rhythmic drums or 808s going.
Yeah.
That's all urban. That's straight from the source. And I
Right.
think
Right.
and I think the um sometimes I be in the comments, and people talk about appropriation, but I feel like this is the utmost. This is like appreciation in the utmost respect. You know, this is like, okay, this is what's hot in the world, and we love to listen to this, and it's influencing our music.
I had somebody who I'm close to had a conversation with Teddy Riley, and he back in the day said he went to Korea and just discovered a new way to have his art form enjoyed and applied, and it taught him, it gave him a whole other thing. And the thing that I find gorgeous about K-pop is it may work for America, it may work for Indonesia, it may work for Vietnam, it may work for Japan. It's not like you don't win if you don't win in America. You can win other places, correct?
Exactly. I think what's cool about K-pop and cool about just international music these days is that we finally have like the internet and all of its resources where in previous years, decades, everything went through, America, went through the UK, right? And if they didn't put the money behind it, if they didn't physically bring these things to your country, you would never be able to listen. And like now we have, music from all over just blowing up because all it takes is one, SoundCloud link or one Spotify listen. And
Exactly.
it's definitely changed the game and how people create music and how people appreciate music.
And I think I mean, BM, I'm curious about you as an artist. I think on top of that, it's changed the way, if you do it right, how you can make a living.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because there's so many people consuming K-pop so much nowadays too. Um, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it pays my bills for sure, and
Love that.
yeah, and it's a big blessing. And I'm constantly trying to figure out ways on how to give back to it because the type of music I make personally is it's very hip hop based. A lot of it is inspired by Afro beats and Amapiano, and
Yep.
it's such a liberating genre of music, and it has so much conviction behind it. I think that's why it entices me so much to also indulge in that genre. And I know so many people in Korea and everywhere. Like if you look on TikTok or anywhere on the internet, these challenges are going crazy. There's people in Thailand also making the music, and
Yep.
and then I'm getting love from people that are actually in Africa. Like I have a lot of fans in Africa that are saying, "Come here, come tour here, take an Amapiano dance class," because the dancing out there is crazy. Dance is also such a huge thing, and dance and music go hand in hand. Um, yeah, yeah. It's so much appreciation. Yeah.
I will stick myself into your creative process a little bit and say you should meet, if you don't know him already, a producer named Harmony Samuels.
Well, I know Harmony.
And Harmony's an Afrobeats dude. He came up, he was born in Nigeria, went to school in London. 10 years ago, they brought him Ariana Grande. He blew that up. And so all his friends are Rotimi and Ricardo Banks, and he's a beast of a producer.
He's a monster.
And you all together would be scary.
Man, we might have to link for sure.
Let's
I've
do
met
it.
him in passing a couple times, and like, yo, he's a monster.
I got you guys. It's three monsters if you guys get together.
Yo, thank you.
There's no question. How is because one of the things that I like about the K-pop thing is the companies that get behind it, they get behind the song, the lifestyle, the whole thing. It's not just put it out and see what happens. Somebody called me and said, "You got to understand, the office buildings will have a whole floor that's dedicated to this one act."
Oh, yeah.
And they break the act not just because of the song, but because of all the different places you can touch. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, you have some insight on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you speak on it.
It really depends by the company, but most companies up until like even like maybe a decade ago, the blueprint for K-pop was everything is set up for you. Meaning from the music to the lyrics to all the training that you receive before you actually debut, everything is set up like from 1 to 100 to the T. And I think the beauty about that is the company is more than invested in you. Whereas I've heard recently in America, it's more like they give you an advance and you have to figure out everything yourself pretty much, right?
Pretty much. It's gone to that.
Yeah.
Where big labels used to, they had the roadmap and you just follow everything that they say. But like, it's not as severe as in Korea, because in Korea they literally, they'll like, you do this song, you do it this way, and then of course there's like some creative input in it, but from a business standpoint, they'll put like $1 million behind the song, like the majors, right?
Yeah.
And that's just on marketing.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the song might cost $10,000 to record or produce or whatever, right? And in that back end action, they're like super heavily invested because physicals are still a thing, and the fandom they deal with is on a whole different level. So the whole
there's a company called Musical that has a deal with Rock Nation out of Korea where you can monetize the master and let your fans buy a piece of the master, and then they put that on the stock market, and then the stock goes up, and you can actually make money. So your street team becomes the fans who buy in, and they'll tell other people, look, and then you get royalties straight from that. And it's like, it's a whole, Rock Nation just announced a deal with them back at NAMM, but the innovation of how to make a living, how to be new, like it's all coming from there. And you know, America's kind of sitting back, scratching their nuts, going, "Wow, look at that shit right there."
if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, I first heard about Musical a couple years ago, and it started from the idea of like buying like shares of animals, right? Like racehorses,
Yes.
things like that, of that nature, where you're like, if this horse makes money, then everyone that invests in the horse
Makes money.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know they experimented with like a 45-year-old overweight rapper in his hometown, white dude, and he just got his friends to buy a piece of the shares, and in about 6 weeks he made $100,000 just from his friends.
Damn.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a new. I'll turn them on to you as well, for sure. Yeah, you know, BM, when you tour, what kind of audiences are you playing for? Is it young folks? Is it girls? Is it
The demographic, I have, so I'm a part of I'm a part of a K-pop group called Card, which consists of two girls and two guys. And the demographic for that, it varies a lot. It's very diverse from ethnicity to age, and it's to countries too. I think we've done like 70 tours, 70 cities so far, just in different countries.
wow?
Yeah, very, very diverse. For me, I've done a tour just in the States so far as a solo artist, and the demographic is, all girls. And
1,000% women, bro. I went to the LA show and I was like, this man.
I was acting a fool a little bit.
Next time you're in LA, save a ticket for your boy.
I got you. Please.
You're going to be watching like this, bro. You're going to be watching.
Absolutely. Now, one of the other things is you never get here by yourself. There are people who help. Now, my man back in the corner, he's trying to hide. Give him some love.
Anthony,
Big
Def Nelson over
Shout
here.
out Def.
Anytime I'm in Korea, I'll be using his studio, and like I recorded my whole album here last year. and the year before that.
There you go.
That's the man.
And you're a studio dude between Chalice and everything else. Like
Mhm.
you know what's good and what's not good.
Exactly, and this is he got the vibes right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it feels like that over the camera. It feels that way. So I had to give him some love. He was in the back. I didn't want people to think you had a stalker or some shit.
No.
That's our boy D'Anthony.
Yup, the
There
plug.
you go. Cool. So what's next? What do you see coming? Is it more musical expansion? Is it teaching people how to go outside of it? Is there education in K-pop so you're growing smarter people from the engineer standpoint, producer standpoint? Is it just organically growing? What's y'all's take?
Man, I think that's a question everyone has right now, also in Korea.
Yeah, what's
Like,
next?
what's next?
Ah.
Because, there we had the Big Bangs, which they're still performing now, and they're legends. They're living legends right now in the K-pop industry. And then we have the BTS, but now it's like, who's next
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. Because without those two groups, literally the K-pop industry would not be where it's at right now,
Yeah.
along with many other groups as well. But yeah, that's like the biggest question. And to put it in a business standpoint, I feel like it's almost a rat race right now for everyone to build that next thing too.
Yeah.
But me personally, where I'm at, I just, as far as like wanting to be successful, I think I've thrown a lot of that away. I just want to be true to my music and true to myself, and learn from my mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. and respect my culture and the culture, all cultures that cultivated my my taste and my my preference on what I do as well. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? What you're telling me years ago, I worked with Maurice White, the leader of Earth, Wind and Fire, and he told me the same thing. He said, I'm not trying to figure out next. I'm doing what is honest to me, and either they'll get it or they won't get it. And every time I think the breakthrough artists who are true to themselves break through, because you can feel it in the music. And I was like, ooh, Maurice White is like talking to Jesus. I was like, okay.
Damn well be the gospel, bro. Like, yeah.
Amazing.
I think
The other thing,
stance on that.
the other thing,
Stance on it is similar. Huh?
No, well, I was going to say the other thing he told me, he was like, man, you got to open up your hand and let the universe in. Don't try to hold it too tight. I was like, oh shit. I'd curled up in a fetal position. I was like, I hear you and I will. And he was right. He was absolutely right. And so the heart of BM, what you're talking about, and just following your craft, and David, you following yours, that's the stuff that breaks through. Anybody who tries to connect the dots and, put it, no, come real, Yep.
Absolutely.
So now, BM, do you get back to LA much at all?
Nowadays, yes, because I'm shooting for a Netflix series right now. So
Top secret.
yeah, top secret.
Gotcha.
What I'm shooting for did come out on public, so
It did?
it did.
Okay.
So I could say like I'm doing it, but nowadays a lot more back and forth. But if it's not that, I think like throughout the year, maybe like once or twice, for a tour, for a show, or just to see my family. Yeah, because they're still all over there.
The guy who runs Netflix, a guy named Ted Sarandos, who's probably the most powerful man in Hollywood. His wife is like my little sister.
Oh, wow.
Ed loves music. He loves music, and he's looking to expand in that space. So stay on that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely stay on that shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. When you're here the next time, because see, I don't think you can cover the breadth of something that's so culturally significant in 45 minutes. You know, we should think about a part two live in person. Just come on out. And you know what? I have a studio at the pad. Maybe you guys get in the studio and we shoot you fucking around and making some music, and so people can see.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, done. Oh, I'm down. I'm 100% down. David has always been a supporter. We've always had so much respect for him. He's just, and the other part that David does is you have to have a disposition of welcoming people. You know, people who are shitheads, you don't want to fuck with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Next, you know, like it fucks up the studio vibe, which eventually fucks up the music. So no, I sit here as the fan, not the host of the thing, and I think we should do a phase two live in person. We can do it whenever you're here. Come on out, and let's continue to show people the evolution of K-pop through you guys' eyes. You know, you may be producing something or doing a collaboration with somebody. We can have them all on, and so people know where to go to learn this shit correctly.
That's easy, man. I would love that.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm super excited. So glad you guys could make it. I am thrilled. So my team will reach out. You guys reach out to me if you ever need anything. I'm 100% down. And then when I know you're coming back, we'll schedule something to shoot at the pad.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, BM and David Kim, you have been schooled. There's more schooling coming. These boys know what they're doing, and we're lucky to have them. We'll see you next time on The Parlor. Deuces.
Thank you.
You guys,
See
thank
y'all.
you.